Awesome. So there's some absolute chaos going on outside at the moment, and I want to make sure that you have the opportunity to be sheltered from that using the actual facts and getting some zoomed out perspective on what's going on. I have nothing to sell you. I don't have a course that's publicly available to you, and I want to make sure that you know this is an unbiased opinion. I don't care if you sell on Amazon. I don't care if you do e-commerce at all. I don't care if you stick to your 9-to-5 job. I want to just make sure you have the resource, this resource available to you to know how to succeed on Amazon FBA or e-commerce in general if you wanted to. If that sounds good, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and we'll jump in. Congratulations on making it through that intro. I really want to get real with you in this video, and I want to level with you because I really wish someone taught me this when I first started in e-commerce and gave me the perspective I needed to go over these hurdles that I'm going to show you. What we're doing right now, this panic that we're in, is just another hurdle, and this is why. So please, before I do jump in, watch this video. It's going to change a lot of your perspectives, and it's going to help you in the long term make a lot of money compared to the people who are going to click off. So Amazon takes too much commission. When Amazon FBA first started opening up and was in its first nascent years, everyone's like, don't sell on Amazon. It takes, up to 56% of your revenue, 30% on average. It would normally take you your revenue. And everyone's like, you know what? You're better off keeping that. But of course, everybody knows that I personally started a online e-commerce store in 2012, and it had absolutely no traffic. And I got 100% of profits, but there was no profit because there was no traffic. So that was the big first hurdle. Everyone's like, don't sell on Amazon, don't sell on Amazon. The second one, they block new sellers during high demand peaks. They don't want new sellers coming on. And when they started blocking these new sellers, everyone's like, that's the end of Amazon FBA. I wish I got on when I thought they took too much commission. When that first hurdle happened and everyone was like, oh, stay away, I wish I sold then. And now everyone's like, oh no, they've blocked new sellers from selling. This was in late 2016 when there was not enough factory space for everyone or storage space for everyone's products. Everyone thought that was the end of the world. And then very recently, actually, last year, Amazon starts suspending new sellers very quickly. Instead of being like, yes, anyone can sell on Amazon FBA, and then we'll go off their track record and then suspend the ones who aren't doing well. When you open a new account, Amazon suspends like 80% of those sellers that open a new account. And they say, you have to prove to us that you are going to be a genuine seller, unlike a lot of these sellers and hijackers, mainly from China, who are making the platform worse quality. So Amazon's default went to suspending people out of the gate. And everyone's like, well, that once again is the end of Amazon. I wish I got started in 2016 when, they were blocking people from selling. Now they're all suspending everyone and no one new can get to the platform. And then very recently, we've got this downturn, we'll call it, in the economy. We've got this craziness going on, and everyone, once again, they don't recognize this as another hurdle. They see this as absolute chaos. Now, before we jump into things, I'm not saying you should start selling right now. If you are selling already, I'm not saying you should try and scale in this downturn. I have another video I just created, I think a couple of days ago, which is on my channel. I'll link it up here for you if you want to watch if you should start selling now or if you should wait. But what I'm saying is, when we put this in perspective, you can see it says YouTube. When you type in Amazon FBA on YouTube, it's all so pessimistic. Is it too late with the red? The sales have decreased. It's a failure. This is the only one that is a tutorial. This one is failure down here. Don't make this mistake. This is my own video. Start now or wait. Is it too late? It's very much a negative view on Amazon at the moment. And you have to realize I've been selling on Amazon since 2016 myself, early 2016. And I've seen these waves and I bought into them when I first got started. I'm like, oh, Amazon's dying. Oh, Amazon's back. Amazon's dying. Amazon's back. And it goes through these up and down surges. And in reality, they don't match what's actually happening with Amazon. If you haven't seen this before, this is the net revenue of Amazon over time since 2004. That's billions of dollars, $6.92 billion in 2004. It scaled almost 20% every single year, all the way up to $280 billion last year. Now, don't stop here. Don't think this is, yes, Amazon is good to sell on. You should start selling now. Look at the actual data. That's not what this video is about. What I actually want to do is I want to dive deeper, and I want to send this message to you because 90% of people you listen to, whether it be on YouTube or podcasts, or if it's one of the softwares like Jungle Scout, they're not going to give you the actual insights that you need in order to understand what's happening with Amazon as a whole. This is Amazon here in 2019. They did $280 billion of revenue, which is absolutely ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount of money, and this is what people say. They only want a small amount of this money, and they would be financially free. For you, maybe you want $100,000 of profit a year. Maybe you want $500,000 of profit, but it's only a tiny bit of the amount of money they make. Now, you can see over here is my really cool Amazon logo, just so you know what we're, that's not the tool I need. We've got our pen here. This is the Amazon, and this is the Amazon pie. Now, this is what most people never even think about. They're so close to the canvas. They're like, cool, buy product for cheap. This was an 8 out of 10 on Jungle Scout. Therefore, it's a good product. Send in the warehouse. It's not selling. I don't know why. And that's all they see. But if you step back and you get perspective on what Amazon actually is as a whole, what the market of Amazon is, you realize, one, it's a 280,000. That's how crazy this number is. I'm not used to saying $280 billion market. Now, yes, some of that is things like Amazon Web Services. Amazon have a digital side of their business that isn't selling physical product, and it takes up quite a large amount. But Amazon physical products take up the majority of their sales. So I don't know the specific numbers last year off the top of my head, but say, for example, it's 180 billion is actual physical products, like things that we sell, an hourglass, a fake plant, a pen, all these things, whatever it is that you're selling or thinking of selling, they fall into the category of physical products that Amazon ship and sell for you. So within this category of $180 billion, what you have to realize, and I'll do this with the actual circle tool to make it easy, is there are markets or niches. So this, say, is one of the biggest markets on Amazon. Maybe I can change the color of this to make it very easy to see. Let's have a look. Boom, blue circle. Now, the biggest niche on Amazon, do you know what the biggest niche on Amazon is? Quick quiz for you. It's Bluetooth headsets or Bluetooth earphones. They're the biggest niche, the best-selling products on Amazon. If we go to Amazon.com over here, and we type in Bluetooth earbuds, is going to come up number one because it's the most in-demand search term. And these products, you can see ridiculous amounts of reviews coming in here. So this is the Bluetooth headphones. This is, say, the biggest market on Amazon. And say they do $500 million of sales a year of Bluetooth headphones on Amazon. This circle represents that niche inside the Amazon actual full market. And the next biggest niche, I think AA batteries or something, nappies or diapers as you call them in the US, is the next big, oh, we don't want to move that around. We want another circle. Go back to a cool little circle tool. And that's the next biggest niche. So it's going to be a little bit smaller than the first one. And then AA batteries. So it was diapers, then we got AA batteries. And then we got, I don't know, iPhones or whatever it is. And you have these niches that obviously decrease in size from the biggest ones, which we'll put up here at the top, all the way down to the smallest, tiniest little niches down here, like baby shoe cleaner, or I don't know, something that's absolutely ridiculous. And you hear someone sells this sort of stuff, like, rock climbing chalk in the color yellow. And it's like, that's such a tiny, tiny little niche. And you have to understand that this entire circle is filled up. Amazon's marketplace is filled up just with different niches. That's all these circles are. And each niche is worth a different amount of money. Now, I'm not going to go through and we could together and color this whole thing in. But essentially, you have to understand that, say we take this niche down here. And say this is your niche, or the niche that you're looking at selling in. And I've blown it up here just so we can see inside it, but this is yours here. Now, you're part of a $180 billion in 2019 market. Now, this is the key. In 2020, the entire market is getting bigger. So instead of being 180 billion, it may be 210 billion, 220 billion. So not only is this biggest market getting bigger and stretching how much money you make inside the niches. So instead of doing $500 million of sales in Bluetooth headphones, they may do $600 million of sales. And then the next year, $700 million. So these circles and these niches are all growing together. However, you have to understand that each one is dynamic and they don't always grow. Some of them are going to go down over time. Now, how do you know this? You can use Helium 10. There's a link in the description. The free way to do it, however, is to go to Google Trends and find something that would be a niche. So at the moment, let's say indoor plant. Helium 10 will give you the more accurate Amazon data, and Google will give you the overall web data. So indoor plants over time have gone up. So one of these circles, say this circle right here, because indoor plants are not going to be ridiculous out of the $180 billion of sales, is this one right here. The next year, that circle in comparison is going to be slightly bigger. And the next year, it's going to be slightly bigger. And you've invested in a niche that is growing in demand and growing in sales over time. However, there are some things that are going to be going down. Now, an easy one, I'm just going to guess, is going to be DVDs. So if we have a look at DVDs, you can see it's going down over time. Where in 2005, 2004, obviously it was at its highest. And in 2004, DVDs may be this big. That's how big the DVD circle could be. And then each year since, all the way up into 2020, which is where we are now, you got a tiny little dot. That's DVDs. And they no longer make up a big share of this market. So when you choose your market to sell in, when you choose, or if you've already chosen, you have to understand that in times like this, where there's economic downturn, some of these markets are going to be growing. Some of them are going to be shrinking. You want to make sure that you're in a market that over the long term, it doesn't matter about its ups and its downs. So if we go to the Dow Jones, which is obviously the stock market, over time, it's going to go up. You can see what's going down at the moment. We don't know how much further it's going to go down. We don't know if it's at its lowest peak yet. We could go all the way down here. But as long as you're betting on the US economy when you invest money, the Dow Jones is going to be increasing as productivity and as technology increases. There becomes more value in the economy. The same as Amazon. You're betting on Amazon. And if I can find this, you're betting on Amazon as a whole. And so far, Amazon has paid off ridiculously well. They have one of the best leaders in the world. Even in times like this, they're thriving. They're the ones hiring more people when everyone else has to let people go. Because this is the way the world's trending, is to e-commerce, to buying things online and not going down to the store, just because it takes so much more time. And if you're betting on Amazon to grow, you just need to make a bet that you, in the size of the market that you can actually make it in. So whether it's if you have a $20 million budget and you want to take on Bluetooth headphones, or whether you have a $3,000 budget and you want to take on indoor plants with yellow flowers. It doesn't matter, but what you have to understand, and I won't go into detail this because I want to make a new video, is that inside your niche, you're also going to have a microcosm of what's happening out here. So you're going to have the market leader. Cool, this is the market leader of indoor plants, and he has this cool yellow flower. I don't know if I can move that. It didn't really line up, but that's cool. That's the market leader. And then you're going to have the second market leader in here. Cool, he's going to be a little bit smaller. And then you're going to have the third market leader. And then you're going to have tiny people who aren't making any money and you don't want to be associated with. You want to be someone who comes into that market. And once again, I won't go into detail here, and innovates. And if it's an indoor plant, maybe you do something like indoor plants with motivational quotes on their basis, because you realize that people who like indoor plants like nice aesthetics, they like to feel good, and a fun motivational quote or a happy motivational quote on the pot might be what they're after, and you have to validate that, and there's ways to do that. But if you can come up with an innovation like that, you can become a market leader and actually start to define, we got a freehand drawn circle here, your own niche. And now this is motivational plants is your niche, and I've made this up, but you can understand that you don't want to have to compete with this market share, but you can create your own dot here by making a good innovation on your product, one that's within your budget. And we have another video on that. I'll link it up here because it's very important. If you like this video and you like this concepts, click on that next video because you'll like that even more. It'll go through to the detail on how to do this. The takeaways here: bet on Amazon in the long term. If you're not sure if you should start selling now or not, watch the video. I'll link it up in the description just so we don't have so many tags going on up here. If you should wait or if you should start selling now, I'll answer that for you. But if you're in e-commerce, if you're on Amazon, you're betting on people in the long term to shop online, which is a very, very good bet to make. One that's paid off incredibly well. And you may not have to start now, but you may want to get educated. I explain it in the video, so go watch that one. Hopefully this is helpful. Hopefully you get a bigger perspective and understand what you're getting yourself into when you choose a product and not just looking at one single Jungle Scout number.